Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. I'll be starting now a new chapter. This is chapter 19, page number 114. People who won fame. So, now, but before that, I would just like to do a correction from yesterday's teaching for chapter 16. I just happened to go through the videos. I saw that I had made mistakes 2-3 places. All right, one was the distance between Ranchi and Delhi. By mistake, I had said 13,000. It isn't 13,000. It is 1,300 kilometer plus. Okay, and so there were a few more. Okay, there was so please forgive me for that correction, for that mistake. Now coming back to our soul studies. Okay, this is chapter, like I told you, this is for class 4 A, B, C, D, and chapter 16 or chapter 19. Okay, people who won fame, and this you can find in page number 114. Yes, I remember I had made in my first announcement I had made. Yesterday's recording for chapter 16. I had quoted a wrong page number. Then I corrected it. Then I said the correct page number. Anyway, that was yesterday's mistake, and since I'm human, I make mistake too. Please pardon me for that. Now, people who won fame. So here it means, the sentence here, it means people who have won, who have become famous. Fame means something that people, they talk about you, they speak nice things about you, they admire you, they idolize you. So fame is the pride that you get, when you become very famous. All right, the name that you get in the world. Okay, people appreciate for your good deeds, and you set an example for others. You change things, you change the thinking and thoughts of others. Okay, and society at large. Okay, so people who have won. So here in this chapter we'll discuss about those people who have been famous. This basically it deals with the Indian people, our proud Indian people. Okay, religious leaders and spiritual leaders. Some they were social reformers, and some were noble kings, and then there were scientists and great sportsmen as well. So we'll discuss few of them here in this chapter. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand what were the teachings of some religious leaders like Buddha, Mahavir, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji, plus the efforts made by social reformers and noble kings for the society. Then there is this contribution made by India in the field of science and sports. So let's begin. India is a land of varied religion. So India is a land of varied religion, means there are different religion that we find in India. There is Hinduism, Sikhism, okay, there is Christianity, there is Islam, okay, there is Jainism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. Okay, so many religions are found here in our country. We are very proud of all these different religion that India has. And we all, in spite of all these diversity, we all are united under one nation, under one flag, under one national anthem, under one national song, and that is our India, our motherland, India. It has produced some of the best talents in various fields such as sports, politics, dance, music, science, and social reforms. So there were Indians who were there earlier, now also. Okay, who have done better, who have made the society a better place to live in. Okay, there were people who were good in sports. There were people who were very nice politicians, who were masters in the performance arts like dance, music, okay, singing. Plus people who are very good who were scientists. Okay, and there were some social reforms who changed the thought process, changed the thinking of the society. They had achieved greatness and influenced the life of millions by their teachings and extraordinary work they have done, fighting all odds. So it was not very easy for them, especially the people who were bringing in new teaching, religious teaching, people who had trying to change the way people think. so bringing social reforms. It was not easy because people in that time they were living under a comfort zone, means they were having a set of rules and regulations which they were following. Though they were very strict, sometimes very orthodox, sometimes very irritating. It wasn't nice. People could not digest it. People could not take it. Okay, some of them were very strict. Okay, so so it was very difficult for these social reformers to change the way the people thought, change the way the people used to think that time. All right, so it was very difficult. All right, and they had to face a lot of obstacles. They had to face a lot of opposition by people, okay, who were not happy with the changes these social reformers would bring. Let's throw light on the lives of such great Indians who have achieved worldwide fame through their deeds and actions. So in this chapter we'll be discussing about those people who are not only famous in India because of the changes that they brought and because of the things that they did, because of the talents that they had. They were not only famous in India, but they were famous worldwide. Okay, so let's discuss one and discuss this into different headings. One is the religious or spiritual teachers. Number one, Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was the son of a king, but he gave up worldly pleasures to attain enlightenment. Enlightenment means when you want to achieve some knowledgeable things, when you are in dark, when you do not know most of the things, when you are ignorant of a lot of things, when you do not know most of the things, and you get those knowledge, get that wisdom to know things, thoughts and philosophy of life and the way people lead their life, it becomes easier for them when they follow certain rules because of the understanding that they have, because of the wisdom that they have. Okay, they change the way that they think. All right, so that is what enlightenment, when you get a proper knowledge about certain things. So Gautam Buddha was actually a son of a king. He could have been very happy staying at home, getting pampered by one and all, mother, the queen mother, the king, all right, the people who were there, the servants, and so many people would have been looking after the son's king. Okay, giving him the best of food, clothes and time and sports and everything. But he left all the worldly pleasures to attain enlightenment. He went in search of truth and knowledge and preached non-violence to his disciples. So he left his house, went into the world, went to the wilderness, into normal villages also, went out walking and finding out the truth of life, the knowledge that life can give him. All right, first-hand experience, that what we say, could talk to people face to face. All right, get their experience, see how people used to suffer because of the misdeeds, because of other people's doing. All right, he could understand the seriousness of life, the truth behind life, the knowledge that the life could give him. And plus he told his disciples. Now disciples are those people who follow certain rules and regulations set by the leader, or by a religion, or by a religious leader, all right, or a political leader. They are the disciples who follow whatever the master says. Here the master being the spiritual leader. Like for example, Jesus has so many disciples. Okay, he had 12 major disciples. He is also, here Gautam Buddha, now we are talking about Gautam Buddha here. Gautam Buddha, he is also the founder of Buddhism sect, and his followers are called Buddhists. So Gautam Buddha, he is the founder of Buddhism sect, okay, and his followers are known as Buddhists. We can see the famous picture of Gautam Buddha here. All right. Mahavira. Jainism is believed to have been started by Rishabhanadha, the first Tirthankara, but this religion truly gained acceptance at the time of Mahavira. the 24th Tirthankara. Okay, he taught his followers the path to non-violence and simple living. So Jainism was started by Lord Mahavira. Okay, actually it was started by the Rishabhanadha, the first Tirthankara. Tirthankaras were the religious leaders. Okay, and these were the names given to those religious leaders then, already in that period of time, okay, of Jainism. And they, the actual Jainism had worldwide or acceptance only when Lord Mahavira came into being, when he came into the scene, okay, and he was the 24th Tirthankara, okay, the religious leader. And he taught again, just like Lord Buddha, he also taught his disciple the doctrine of non-violence. Means you do not hit anybody, you do not beat anybody, you do not get into a physical fist fight with others to get things decided, to get to reach to a conclusion. You don't fight physically with anybody, rather we talk and sort out our problem, discuss our problem, and we come to a conclusion which is befitting everybody involved in that ordeal. Anyway, and we need to have a simple living, no fashionable, no expensive things. Whatever basic needs are that we have, we should do that, we should follow that, we should use that, rather than thinking and trying to achieve richness and wealth and fame. Just have a simple living with high thinking. High thinking means thinking which are high, which are beyond normal thinking, where we are accepting others' presence in our society, their mistakes we forgive, their ideas we also accept, their opinions we should also appreciate, not only think about what we want to say, what we want in life. Okay, so that and other things. Okay.